everyone. Like Mr. Garza said, I am a student at Evergreen Valley College and president of the Enlace Student Association.
Paul Guerrero, Executive Board of the Raza Roundtable.
Craig Pasqua, Native Voice and Executive Committee for Raza Roundtable.
Leti Dominguez, Center for Employment Training.
Yolanda Perez, Santa Clara Valley Water District.
Tony Estremera, Santa Clara Valley Water District.
Alberto Carrillo, retired from the Office of Human Relations in the county, member of the GI Forum, the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.
Leticia Rocha from Santa Clara Valley Water District.
José Rocha, Local 270.
Captain Mike Kim, I mostly supervise the Foothill Division.
Danny Garza, Chapter Chair for MAPA, the Mexican American Political Association.
Yeah, Frank Espinosa, I'm also a faculty member at Evergreen Valley College and a member of the Enlace Coordinating Committee.
Arturo Villarreal, faculty member at Evergreen Valley College, also member of the Enlace Coordinating Committee.
Domingo Candelas, good evening everybody. I'm here on behalf of State Senator Jim Bell.
Good evening, Esau Herrera, Board of Trustees, Alum Rock Union School District, and also Board of Directors, American GI Forum.
Chris Ariola with the District Attorney's Office and La Raza Lawyers Association.
Good evening, Sonia Ariola, the president of Sacred Heart Nativity Schools, which is a tuition-free Jesuit middle school in the Washington neighborhood.
Bob Nunez, co-chair, La Raza Roundtable. Mauricio Gaviria, advocacy chair for the Milpitas Unified Council of PTAs.
Raul Colunga, co-founder of the Raza Roundtable, also member of the Executive Board and chair of the Santa Clara County Superior Court Juvenile Justice Commission.
Good evening, everybody. Adria Quinones-Macer with Housing Trust Silicon Valley. I'm the Homeownership Programs Manager.
Samuel San Jose Evergreen Community College District.
Good evening, Deborah Porche Usher, Chief Deputy Director for the Social Services Agency, Santa Clara County.
Derek Grasty, Eastside Oversight Committee, and candidate for School Board, Eastside Union High School District.
John Anyosta, Program Coordinator, Southwest Keys Programs, San Jose Mentoring Program.
So Dr. Debbie Budd. Debbie is what I've heard her called more often than Deborah. And so she was the president at Berkeley City College, right, before she came here. And I saw the list. She got her BA in Santa Barbara, is where I want to retire to. She got her master's at Stanford, where I visit every now and then. And then she got her doctorate at San Francisco, where I go to shop and eat. But more importantly for us, I believe, is that she's now the Chancellor here at San Jose Evergreen. And if you've had the opportunity to meet with her, you would see that she has a real vision for this community college district. The important part for me, at least, being the school board member in Milpitas, is that it's no longer a place that students go by on their way to De Anza and Foothill. And that's what happened when I was superintendent at Eastside. And that's actually what happens in Milpitas when I ask students, where are you going to go next? It is to De Anza and Foothill. I think that within the next 2 to 3 years, she is going to make it a destination point for our students, and that's important for us. In Milpitas, what I think we're going to open in February is a middle college, a college where students can go for the last 2 years of their high school experience and leave there with their high school diploma and their community college diploma. Which, if you're a parent, that makes it really exciting that you don't have to pay for that. But more importantly, it allows a young adult the opportunity to get more experience, become more mature before they go out into the world. And it's something that I think is really needed in that part of the county. And I think it really would not have come to fruition if it weren't for Debbie. And so at this point, I think it's exciting for us to hear that. I think if it weren't for her, we wouldn't be where we're at right now. And so with that, I'd like to introduce Dr. Budd.
Well, thank you so much for having me this evening. It's really a pleasure to be here. I joined you on Friday, like January 26th, on my first week that I was here. And we've had a lot of things that we've been able to work on in the last 9 months. Thank you for that introduction, Bob. Yes, I'm Debbie Budd, the Chancellor of the San Jose Evergreen Community College District. And my dissertation was on institutional effectiveness and the relationship to transfer rates of African American and Latino students. And so much of that was about creating that caring environment and the belief, the cariño, that students can succeed. And I think it absolutely could start with our pathways from high school to college. Tonight, I wanted to share a little bit about community colleges as a whole, as well as some of my vision and a little bit of what we've been doing recently in the San Jose Evergreen district. You know, we serve 26,000 students between San Jose City College and Evergreen Valley College. And as we know, there are two school districts, high school districts, Eastside Union and San Jose Unified. And we are working closely now to develop those dual enrollment agreements, as Bob mentioned, so that we could create either middle college or early college high schools, so that students can get credit when they're in high school for college credit and graduate with their AA degree and bachelor's degree at the same time. By creating these early college high schools or middle college high schools, students can go to high school for just for 33 hours a day, 180 minutes, versus the 240 minutes that's usually required. And then they could take a college credit, a class each day, or even 1 or 2 days a week, and then still do athletic programs or other after-school programs. I absolutely believe that by creating a college-going culture, families will know that their child can go to college. And ideally, through our San Jose Promise, that I'll talk about in a few minutes, for free. So let me show you just a couple of really cool slides that I've developed. And just remind you, the mission of the community colleges are really threefold. They are career technical education, is to help build foundational skills, and then it's also for transfer to four-year university. I'm going to do a couple of did you knows about community colleges. There are 113 community colleges in the state of California. As you can see up there, there are 23 CSUs, and there are 10 UCs. What people might not realize is community colleges serve about 2 million students per year, whereas CSUs serve about 400,000 and UCs serve in the high 100,000s. I also wanted to share the cost. The cost is about 1/7 to go to a community college versus a CSU, and 1/10 of going to a UC. It's about $1,500 a year to go to a community college. That's if you don't receive a BOG waiver. 70% of our students receive a Board of Governors waiver, don't pay any fees. And we are working on developing a San Jose Promise that all students can attend college after graduating from a San Jose Unified or Eastside Union School District for free and have their textbooks paid for. A couple of other highlights. That's a little hard to see on the slide, but we'll post it for you. Community colleges really mirror the population of California. Just as it was mentioned, the lawyers in California. The fact that Latinos make up 40% of the state, yet only 4% of lawyers. We know that 40% of the students of the population in California are Latinos, the same as basically that to community colleges, and we mirror that here at San Jose City and Evergreen Valley College. About 10% African American students across the state. We have about 5% African Americans in our colleges, San Jose and Evergreen. About 30% white across the state. We serve about 12% white students in San Jose and Evergreen. And about 15% Asian across the state, and we serve over 30% Asian, mostly Southeast Asian, first in their family to go to college at Evergreen Valley College. So we are a wonderful opportunity for students to transform their lives, and by transforming their lives, they can transform the lives of their families. A couple of facts. What you might not know is, of the 4 institutions in the state, K-12, community college, CSUs and UCs, community college receives the lowest funding amount. We get about $7,000 per student compared to the $11,000 per student in a K-12, the 14,000 at a CSU, and the 24,000 in UC. But we do some incredible things with those funds. I don't know if you know that over 52% of the students that graduate from the CSU started at a community college. Over 30% that graduate from the UC start at a community college. 48% of the students that graduate from the UC in a STEM, a science, technology, engineering, or math field, started at a community college. And 80% of the firefighters were trained at a community college. 70% of nurses were trained at a community college. And we have a great pathway with San Jose State for students to get their nursing degree and bachelor's degree. And 50% of the veterans attend community college. But wanted to really share with you a couple of student stories.
I have to say is the teachers and the staff members who are always willing to answer your questions, regardless of what it is. Where's this building? Do you recommend a professor for next class? How is it that you became successful in your career? I definitely have to say that the staff members and teachers here is one of the best attributes that Evergreen Valley College has.
Best attributes in San Jose City, that was probably the easiest question you had. It's the people. Definitely the people, from all the way from the librarians all the way up to the president of our college and the students here. I've never felt like anything has been off limits here. I've heard some no's, but it's like more like no, but we can do this. We can work towards another way, or we can find a way to do it. And it's been nothing but supportive. There's a lot of friendly faces here, and that's what I like with people.
As we know, many people talk about equality, and equality is not the same as equity. We give the additional supports that all students can succeed. And we are really working to increase the knowledge of what we offer at San Jose City and Evergreen Valley, and how we can help students transfer right from high school to us, or have credits at graduation and go right to a four-year university. Being right here in the Silicon Valley, the fact that we serve 75% of our students are students of color and diverse, first in their family to go to college, immigrants, or children of immigrants. We are the equity engine of the Silicon Valley. We absolutely believe that by the training that we can do with the internships, we can diversify the workforce. We hear so many times people talking about, how do we diversify the tech industry? It is absolutely through the community colleges. And by building these pathways, we're confident that students that grow up here can stay here in high-paying, high-wage jobs. To do that, coming in as a new chancellor, there is some training that we're working on, making sure that the faculty are innovative, thinking of new ways to serve our students. And so we had someone from the Hewlett Foundation come in to help out with open educational resources for free textbooks, as well as we had the Center for Urban Education with USC come help us with disaggregating our data and really looking at disproportionate impact, looking at what students were being successful, who weren't, what was working, and how we can help scale that up for everybody. We also are setting the bar high, and I want to share a couple things tonight about our job training with career technical education, about our San Jose Promise, about the high school to college pathways, about our adult ed non-credit program, and then a few more highlights about our transfers to CSU and UC. This past year, we increased our transfer rate, or success rate, I should say, of degrees and certificates by 29% over year to year, and by 97% over the last 6 years. So we've made some real great progress. We also, I was surprised getting here that we did not have an EcoPass or VTA pass. So our students passed the EcoPass. When they're students at San Jose or Evergreen, they take less than 6 units, they pay $4.50. If they take more than 6 units, they pay $9 per semester for a free bus pass. That's light rail, that's bus pass, and there used to be another college that did that and we didn't. So the other thing that's happening with the high school students, when they take a class, they can get the free bus pass too. We have associate degrees for transfer that give students automatic acceptance into a CSU, a California State University, in that degree or a like degree. And so they take their 60 units, they get a C or better, and they get automatic acceptance into a CSU. So another great pathway. Again, something that can happen when we build these pathways with a high school. If a student graduates high school with their diploma and an ADT, they can automatically go into a CSU. We have not only great transfer, we have great career technical education programs. The students get hired right out of that program into Honda, Tesla, and Chrysler and Ford, doing great work. And as we all know, my husband's a mechanic. You really have to know all that technology now, and we have those programs. We have a great nursing program that I mentioned with that bachelor's pathway. We have a coding academy starting at San Jose City College. We have welding. We have dental assisting, just to name a few. So incredible career technical education. And we do look forward to partnering with the high schools so that some of the high school credits can count for the college credits through articulation agreements. I mentioned briefly, but I'll highlight because it's so important, those high school to college pathways. Any of you here that have children in high school or know people in high school, they can sign up through dual enrollment, not pay any enrollment fees, and be taking college classes while in high school. But our plan is to help with a pathway. As I was talking with Bob, it's about knowing where to go, right? So help them know what math classes, what English classes to take, so they're ready to transfer. We also have some great programs for those partnerships with Silicon Valley Engineering Technology Pathway. Our Workforce Institute received a $13.1 million grant last year, and that was to help with internships and certificate programs for students in high school going to college. We're working to develop with the mayor, Sam Ricardo, and local business to develop the San Jose Promise, so that students know when they graduate from high school, they can go to college for free. And that'll be either through a Board of Governors waiver or through our outreach. You may have heard some talk about some surplus land development that we're looking at. And should that go through, our plans are that that can help fund our promise. Those funds, because we cannot use our regular general fund money to help pay for tuition or books for students, but that funding can be used to really make a difference in our community with students knowing they can go to college for free. We also have a great adult ed program. It's called the South Bay Consortium for Adult Education. Across the state, all community colleges were asked to partner with adult schools. We happen to be the only consortium in the state that has two districts working together, both San Jose, Evergreen, and West Valley Mission. We have 5 adult schools in the area that are working together. And it really is to create career pathway opportunities, ensure equity in a competitive workforce, and creating non-credit opportunities. Just a quick summary on, many of you may know about the Dreamers Act or AB 540. When immigrant students go to high school, when they go for 3 years of high school, they can get resident tuition. But if someone lives here, let's say they moved here at the age of 15, and they went right to work, but then they got their GED, if they didn't go to high school for 3 years, they don't get resident tuition. So there's a whole group of people. So the fact that 30% of San Jose is immigrant families or first in their family or first generation immigrants, it really creates a barrier for college. And so this adult ed program will help students go free of charge in non-credit, and then we're working so once they complete that, then they can go in at resident tuition. So our goal is in the next few years, that's exactly what will happen. We have a program with medical assisting at San Jose City, and we have an pre-engineering program at Evergreen Valley College right now with the adult ed programs. As part of that, We have a Spark Point Center that we have just received notice that is going to be opened at our Workforce Institute on the San Jose campus. And they'll have a satellite, ideally in the future, at Evergreen, where individuals can get career assistance, financial planning, and help with either food stamps or a food bank. And that's all through a partnership with the United Way Bay Area and a wonderful grant from Texas Instruments. So that's something that we just found out in the news last week. So we have a lot of great things happening to reach out to the community. And I talked with a few of you earlier. There are so many great community-based organizations in this area. And we're really looking forward to working together, working with the foster youth, working with individuals that had been previously incarcerated to help them get into the community college system, to have the supports to either get a high-wage job or transfer to a four-year university, or both. So we absolutely, by creating these high school pathways and this San Jose Promise and the CTE, we know that we really can make a difference.
The middle college, when is it set to open? And what population will it be serving? Just the city of Milpitas or San Jose, Santa Clara, Watts, County of Santa Clara? Like what youth would actually be able to enroll and attend that middle college?
Many people think of a middle college for students that were thinking of dropping out and stopping out of high school, and early college, high school being a student that wants to advance at college level. I think they go hand in hand because so many times the students that are going to drop out and stop out are just because they're bored, right? We are seeing Milpitas could start as early as, we'll start classes this February, but really started as a middle college project come the following fall. We can do the same thing at Evergreen Valley and the same thing at San Jose Unified. And talking with Chris Funk, should we both be able to be successful with our bonds, there will be funding for additional buildings, and it certainly isn't out of the realm to think that we could create a facility that could even be on our campus, that students can be taking high school and college classes to do that.
A question regarding you alluded to assimilating previously incarcerated people into the college environment at San Jose City College. I'd like to know if you can expand on that.
I have had experience at previous colleges where I've worked where we've done that. And there's quite a bit of funding statewide to help grow those programs. We don't have a lot of those in place right now, but we did sign on with a project that ideally in a year we can expand the possibility. Either teaching some classes, at the local jails or prisons, and then students being able to have a pathway in, because so many times it's knowing that next step. And many colleges having great successes. It's actually Diego Navarro at Cabrillo College that started a great program, and it's been expanding across the state.
At our last professional development day, which kicked off the academic year, I do want to publicly say I appreciated under your leadership the transparent information that was shared as it relates to the success rate and lack of success rate among the different groups. And unfortunately, one of the slides that was shared indicated that Latino students aren't faring as well as we would like.
I think absolutely it is about, and I know our Enlace program does help create that cariño, that belief in the students. But many of our students are being placed 3 or 4 levels below college level. And as Pedro Noguera says, you don't catch up by going slow. And it is absolutely about being able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So we're working with the faculty and the administration to develop programs that are ideally just 1 level below college level and give extra supports to the students, whether it's an embedded tutor in the class or extra tutoring outside, supplemental instruction so that they can finish that class and move right on to the college level, with the ultimate hope of working with the high schools that serve a very diverse population and the high school faculty, ensuring that the classes that they're teaching, we know they partner right into our college level. And then with everything working great with our middle college or early college, they could be taking those classes even in high school. And I think this fits in. We had a meeting recently with San Jose State University, And they said they have a challenge of students coming in needing foundational skills, and really difficult for students to get through in 4 years. And so it really is about making sure we help the students come in ready. And I think it's all working together as a community with the high schools, with the community college, with the four-year universities, and with a local industry, community-based organizations, and our government agencies, and groups like La Raza, that we can really make a difference. So thank you for your work.
Will the transfer degree offerings of the Evergreen Valley College mirror that of San Jose College, particularly in terms of elementary teacher education?
All of our campuses don't have identical curriculum, but certainly some of the high demand degrees and certificates could be mirrored at both colleges. And yes, the early teacher education program, where I previously was, we had a great program that they finished 2 years in the community college, went right to the four-year university, and got their teaching credential in that total of 4 years. And so we can do something very similar, because it is about, we talked about ensuring there's a diverse workforce and teachers that really can help connect with the students. And I think a lot of that happens when we help our diverse population we're serving go into, teaching and education. So I hope that helps share a little bit about my vision for the district. And
Thank you.
Thank you very much.